we make Andy Reid's first trip back as the Chiefs head to Philly.
Let's go!
Will Michael Vick and the high-flying Eagles ruin his homecoming? Chiefs, Eagles, Thursday Night Football, live on NFL Network. Together, we make football.
Never be without football. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile from Verizon. Call ** NFL to download it now. Data rates may apply.
Home opener for the Raiders on a picture-perfect Sunday in the Bay Area. 10-3 Raiders will return to Oakland after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
The Mentalist season premieres CBS Sunday, September 29th.
Lunch at that one restaurant we all like?
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm your coworker. Come on, guys, I'm driving. You guys comfortable? It's best in class for your legroom.
Do you work for Volkswagen?
What? No, I work for the company that we all work for. The place we just left. You know, J.D. Power ranked Passat the most appealing midsize car 2 years in a row? I bet Dan here wishes somebody found him most appealing 2 years in a row.
It's Ron.
Ron. Exactly.
You wanted to see me, Coach?
Yeah, good news. Our top 5 quarterbacks are out waiting for package deliveries, so you're our number 1.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they just use FedEx Delivery Manager? They could have requested a different delivery time or held their packages at a FedEx office.
Bad news. You just talk yourself out of being quarterback. Bad news.
FedEx Delivery Manager. Sign up at fedex.com/delivery.
9 years into a TV show, there comes a time when you want to do other things. I really sort of fell in love with racing because it tests you mentally and physically. You're alive. You're feeling that you are absolutely alive.
You can't fake it. You either can do it or you can't.
It's really about the goal of getting to Le Mans, and it's about the journey to get there. I just don't want to be an actor. I want to be the racer who wins.
All new Patrick Dempsey Racing Le Mans, Wednesdays at 10/9 Central on Velocity.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
Hey, Adam, we're going down on the field to throw the ball around. You want to go with us? Oh, I'm going to pass.
NFL Monday QB, tomorrow at 6:30 on CBS Sports Network.
In the nation, sometimes bad things happen. But add brand new belongings from Nationwide Insurance and we won't just give you the partial value of items that are stolen or destroyed. We'll replace them with brand new versions so you won't feel robbed. Again, just another way we put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
We're gonna rock this house until we knock it down. So turn the volume up. Just listen to the hills. Bring the bass up like crazy. Let yourself go. Let yourself go. Life's too short tonight.
10-3 our scores. Halftime winds down in Oakland. Home opener for the Raiders. And they have a 7-point lead over Jacksonville. Time now for our Direct TV Ultimate Picture Cam. We mentioned Charles Woodson doing it. How about this play? Leaping over 2 players to get to Jones-Drew. Jones-Drew injuring his ankle on the play. His return probable at that point, but basically saving a touchdown. As I welcome you inside the booth, Spiro Dita, Steve Tasker, and Steve Berline with you. The thought was that Oakland, nearly pulling the upset last week at Indy. This would be kind of a walkover game for them, but Jacksonville still within 1 score.
Yeah, and the key for Jacksonville, I think, is that they've played mistake-free. They haven't turned the football over, and they have not gotten crushed by field position. In fact, the field position switch, the big return by Oakland, was what set up Oakland's 1 touchdown. Other than that, it's been a very even football game.
Well, I don't think in the NFL this day and age you can anticipate anybody blowing out anybody. It's going to happen once in a while, but the state of the NFL, all these games are close. The Raiders, I don't think, are in a position to expect to really blow anybody out as well. We knew this was going to be a low-scoring, tight ball game, most likely. We all felt that way. We'll see how this second half unfolds, but truly, Jacksonville, I think they've got to get a little bit more aggressive, more creative. The Raiders, let's see what Terrelle Pryor can do in the second half. Let him make some plays.
Kick by Josh Scobee. And Oakland will have the football right around the 20 after a return by Jacoby Ford. So here comes Terrelle Pryor, again, just his third NFL start. First time he is starting in front of the silver and black faithful here in Oakland. You saw what he did last Sunday. Here his first half numbers against Chad Henne. Neither player, guys, has made the big play, but neither has made the mistake either, with Oakland in front 10-3.
The one thing Gus Bradley did say was they have to limit the big runs by Terrelle Pryor. He's had one so far today.
Pryor faking the handoff. His pass a little bit too high for the tight end. That's Jerron Mastrud making his second straight start for the injured Osbury. Guys, what have you seen from Pryor so far, 2 quarters in?
Well, he's made some really good decisions. Obviously, he's made 1 or 2 really nice runs and timely runs. I think the thing, if you're talking to me about his overall performance throwing the football, he needs to be more accurate. That play right there is a good example. He threw it off balance over the top, and it was nowhere near where his receiver, Mastrud, could catch it.
I'm not as impressed today with his throwing as I was last week.
2nd and 10. Pryor keeps it himself. Pryor, guys, hasn't played a lot of football. He basically was out, for 3 years. He decided to leave Ohio State. That scandal before his senior season. Didn't play much in 2011. Just 1 start last year. So here's a kid who really hasn't had a lot of time to develop in terms of game reps.
He needs the reps. Everybody agrees with that. We saw his strength on that last play with the straight arm. We know about his speed. We know that if he knows where he's going with the football, he can deliver it accurately. The question is, how consistent can he be doing that?
3rd and 5. Pryor going through his progressions, throws over the middle. It's caught. That's Rod Streeter for the first down inside the 40. And the tackle made by Blackman and Lowry after a 15-yard hookup.
Now this is really encouraging. You look, see how he's looking to the right, going through his progression. He knew to get back to the middle of the field. He stood patiently in the pocket, trusted his protection instead of giving up on it and leaving the pocket. That's how you make plays in the NFL, and you got to do it to be a starting quarterback long-term in this league.
As nondescript as that pass looked, that was a very pro-type play. His eyes moved around the field. He found his guy.
1st and 10, and again a trickery, excellent fake as he has sold that well today. But that time, Jacksonville's defense not biting. You sit down with this kid, and he had a reputation, the scandal, of course, all the off-field issues at Ohio State. And there's been such a misperception about his character and what kind of person he is. Dennis Allen said he didn't know what to expect last year. Jim Tressel called him a couple of times during his run here last year to kind of vouch for him, ask how Terrell's doing. And Dennis has said he has been as good a soldier as we could have ever anticipated, as they have given him the chance now to be their long-term starting quarterback. 2nd and 11, incomplete, unable to find Reece.
And one of the things that's so intriguing about Pryor, you look at last week, what happened and why we were all so surprised. Watch what happens. You see the pursuit of the Indianapolis defense going to shut off McFadden. Now watch this. He turns the corner. 5 guys have got the angle, and then they don't. The last guy, Lowry, makes a stab at him and comes in and barely gets him out of bounds. That's why defensive coordinators have to stay up long hours to try and defend this guy. And he starts to throw like we've seen him throw early in the 2nd half. Wow.
Most rushing yards by a Raiders quarterback in a game ever last Sunday. Here he is, 3rd and 11, trying to get to about the 49-50 for the first down. He's short. Tackled by Alan Ball, so 7 yards from Pryor, but the Raiders will have to punt.
Really nice tackle by Alan Ball, but what I also liked on that play for the Jaguars, you had the linebackers, Paul Paz, Lesney, Russell Allen underneath. They did a great job not overcommitting to Terrelle Pryor. They kept their lanes. They forced him to ball on the outside, and he made the nice open field tackle.
And it's easy enough on 3rd and long, but if it's 3rd and short, they're not going to be able to do that. They did a nice job there.
Jaguars blocked a punt last Sunday. This is Marquette King on the kick. Blackman fielding from inside his own 10. Penalty markers thrown.
Oh, this is offsides on the return team, and it's less than 5 yards. This is a crusher for Jacksonville. Somebody lined up in the neutral zone or got an early jump.
Offside, number 85, defense, lined up in the neutral zone. That's a 5-yard penalty. It'll be first down Oakland.
What a crusher.
DJ Williams the man who is called for the penalty, and that is a backbreaker for Jacksonville. Oh, when you're a 2-14 team trying to turn things around 0-1, you know, sometimes these are the mistakes. You just can't get out of your own way.
Just the tip of his helmet gets into the neutral zone, and he's over the line. That's all it takes.
It's a Jacksonville franchise that has not made the playoffs since 2007. There's a double pass. McFadden to Pryor. They got his man. It's Streeter. Penalty marker thrown again. Streeter out at the 22-yard line. Pushed out by Lowry. 25 yards, and now we await the penalty. It's back behind the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation. Number 69 of the offense was uncovered on the end of the line. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And that negates a 27-yard pass play. Khalif Barnes, the former Jaguar.
Uncovered means he's not covered up by a receiver. In other words, he's 69. Khalif Barnes on the end of the line of scrimmage right there. He has to have someone on the line of scrimmage outside of him. The Raiders receiver, Denarius Moore, was off the ball. He's got to be up on the line of scrimmage. That nullified the whole play. We saw that play in practice on Friday. We were excited about when they were going to use it in this ball game. What a shame for Greg Olsen, Dennis Allen, the Raiders. That play came up perfectly, and it didn't count for anything.
See the blood gushing out of that right throwing hand from Pryor. All kinds of penalties early here in the third quarter.
And you can feel the Raiders just wanting so bad to come out and take advantage of that break they got with the 5-yard penalty on 4th down. Now they can't get out of their own way.
Prior to the delay of game, this is the first charge timeout, Oakland.
Well, they had to burn a couple of timeouts last week with some issues getting the play calls into Pryor. They take one early here in the second half.
A thank you that actually thanks you. Rapid rewards that are rapid and real. An airline that responds to your loyalty with a little loyalty of its own. Unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates, and points that don't expire. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
Ladies and gentlemen, Toyota Corolla.
Elevate your style. Introducing the all-new Corolla.
Each week, expect the best game from the best conference. Tennessee battles Florida. The SEC on CBS. Saturday.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
10-3 your score. Oakland in front. Raiders had to burn a timeout a moment ago. Now they have it. 1st and 15. After the penalty from the 45. Pryor goes play action. Finds Streeter inside Jacksonville territory. Lunges forward. Forced out of bounds. After a nice pickup on 1st down. 1 week from tomorrow, Tony Collette and Dylan McDermott star in the 15-episode thriller Hostages. Premieres Monday, September 23rd. Only CBS. Spiro Diaz, Steve Tasker, Steve Berline, our entire CBS crew from Oakland. Raiders home opener, 4-yard pickup from Streeter, 2nd and 6. McFadden, right up center, makes a guy, misses inside the 20, and finally brought down at the 15 by Alan Ball. 30 yards from McFadden, 1st and 10.
Well, this is that great option you've been hearing so much about. Terrelle Pryor makes the decision, and the right decision, to give it to Darren McFadden. Boy, he has not seen that much real estate in front of him in a long time. He's seen it twice today. More than excited and eager to take advantage of it and finish off a good, strong run, running over somebody else.
When Darren McFadden could get going downhill, he is a dangerous runner for the Raiders. McFadden again, just out past the line of scrimmage. You know, the one silver lining, guys, with all the injuries McFadden has had, and he said this the other day to us, you know, he hasn't had the wear and tear that a running back normally would have at this stage of his career, 6 years in at the age of 26.
Well, I hate to say it, but foot, ankle, knee, and hamstring is wear and tear.
I was going to say, other than the injuries he's had, he hasn't been too beat up.
That's what wear and tear is.
But he hasn't taken as many hits, I guess is what he's saying. So
McFadden lines out top of your screen. This is 2nd and 9. Boy, Pryor just kind of squirted out of his hands.
He tried to pull it back in.
You saw his hand earlier, blood coming out of that right throwing hand, plus a lot of that sweat, you know, perspiring today with the sun out on a hot day. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s down on the field as he takes another look.
Yeah, you can tell he changed his mind in mid-motion. It turned into an incomplete pass. I like that rule. It used to be the tuck rule, but which is no longer there anymore. But that's a pass that went forward that he just got away from him.
If he's attempting to bring it to his body, then it becomes a fumble.
Butler in motion on 3rd and 9. McFadden finds Rashad Jennings. First time we've seen him today, the former Jacksonville Jaguar, facing his former team for the first time, first 4 years with the Jags, former 7th-round pick, tackled by Geno Hayes.
Well, this play was set up very nice. You see the left guard, number 76, Lucas Nix. If he makes that block right there, that's going to be a big play for Marcel Reece. Lucas Nix looks like he might be able to shake it up, but he has to make that block. If he does, that's a big play for the Raiders.
He got up the field so fast, the defender had a chance to get around him.
Janikowski, 1 of 2 on the day. This one is perfect. And Oakland pushes its lead to 10. 9 and change left 3rd quarter. Chad Henne onto the field when we come back.
Thanks. Anytime.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Google, what is glossophobia?
Glossophobia is the fear of public speaking.
Resolutely faithful.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
We're all professionals. We all know the score.
This is legit business. 401ks, tax returns, and all.
We're gonna move quick, and we're gonna keep cool.
My job, my score, get your own.
You are alone, you pathetic psychopath!
Those are group hugs out of the question.
Grand Theft Auto 5, coming September 17th. Rated M for mature.
PlayStation.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Captain Phillips, in theaters October 11th. And by Microsoft Surface. Click in and do more.
Long scoring drive for the Raiders to start the second half. 69 yards in 12 plays. That 30-yard run by Darren McFadden. A big play to set up the field goal from Janikowski. 13-3 Raiders to score. 9:18 to play 3rd quarter. In front of 53,000 here in Oakland. Stephen Burton 5 yards deep in his own end zone. Burton has the seam past the 20 out to the 25 and tackled at around the 28 8-yard line, so good field position for Henne when we come back. Jacksonville down 10.
This is Mask, Alabama. We are an unarmed freighter with a potential piracy situation.
Chances are it's just fishermen.
They're not here to fish.
Shots fired!
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
You come with us! Don't get in there! We gotta get him off the ship!
We're deploying a SEAL team.
Captain Phillips, can you hear me? Captain Phillips, can you hear me?
Rated PG-13.
This is your moment, it's your time.
Survivor is back on CBS with its biggest twist yet. 10 castaways return, but this time they'll battle their own family. Will they betray the people they love the most?
I will not write my husband's name down.
I'll get rid of her in a heartbeat.
Survivor season premiere, CBS Wednesday, 8/7 Central.
13-3, Chad Henne and Jacksonville's offense onto the field already thin, and now Maurice Jones-Drew questionable to return with a sprained left ankle. Denard Robinson lining up in the backfield. 1st and 10, they fake it to him. Henne's going to run, flag thrown. This one all the way on the other side of the field. Henne run out of bounds by Tracy Porter. And this one a false start against Jacksonville.
Illegal formation. Number 15 was covering number 87. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's Stephen Burton on the penalty. Fantasy football fans, still time to get in and play with the best this season. New games available to join today. Sign up right now at cbssports.com/football.
Now that's one of the issues you run into playing a lot of these younger players. They don't run a lot of these plays. They don't get a lot of reps, and all of a sudden they're out there. They make a little mistake like that, and it costs your team.
Denard Robinson, who we barely saw last week, takes the handoff, 1st and 15. With a second effort, gets him to the 24. You know, guys, this is a team that can ill afford to lose anyone, let alone Maurice Jones-Drew. If that is a substantial injury, if he can't come back today, there's not much behind him.
Well, you think about what he's meant to this offense. Every year you go back the last 3 years, particularly the 3 years before he was injured last year, he's averaging 300 carries a year. In 11, he had 343 carries. That's a lot of offense taken away.
2nd and 15. Henne hit as he throws. He finds Shorts. Well short. Didn't even get to the original line of scrimmage. Charles Woodson again for the Raiders defense.
When you talk about Charles Woodson as a cornerback for the majority of his career, all of his career until this year, you don't think of him as being a real big physical tackler, but that's where you're mistaken. He's one of the biggest, most physical corners in the league for many years. Now playing safety, his tackling ability is solid.
Yeah, his size is one of the reasons he could play for so long, because he's so strong on the football.
3rd and 13. Caught, but well short of the marker. That's Denard Robinson. So first 2 touches.
Yeah, at this point of this half, you see the first 2. This is a defense with the Raiders who feels it now. Gus Bradley's got to find, we keep using the word spark, and it's just something that you find, and people see it, fans see it. You just got to find somebody who can make a play when they're not supposed to make one, and it makes a difference.
Brian Anger on the punt. And Adams going to call for the fair catch. This one takes a Jacksonville bounce inside the 10. Well, that one was on its way closer to the goal line, but Denard Robinson picked it up. 61-yard punt from Anger. 10 points.
Latest sales numbers are in, and some of you will have received an invitation from my office to sit down individually and discuss the next steps.
Did I get that invite? I don't know. You're gonna touch me.
I really do believe this could be the best quarter yet.
Every time. You got a text message from your wife.
We have a real opportunity.
He says you need to pick up that ointment for the rash. He says it's hot, contagious. What does that mean?
Moto X is always ready, giving you the updates you need at a glance without burning through your battery.
Somebody liked your photo. Someone else just liked your photo.
Lunch at that one restaurant we all like?
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm your coworker. Come on, guys, I'm driving. You guys comfortable? It's best in class for your legroom.
Do you work for Volkswagen?
What? No, I work for the company that we all work for. The place we just left. You know, J.D. Power ranked Passat the most appealing midsize car 2 years in a row? I bet Dan here wishes somebody found him most appealing 2 years in a row.
It's Ron.
Ron. Exactly.
Are you okay, Mom? Yes, I am.
Life insurance from New York Life can help your family keep good going.
Feeling cool and clean, the best that you've ever been. You're surrounded by freshness and you're in a position to win. Actually, never mind, you're in a snow globe in a dollar store.
Don't miss the season premiere of NCIS LA, Tuesday, September 24th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Moto X, designed by you, assembled in the USA. And by New York Life Insurance Company.
Well, I'm sure that Denard Robinson didn't cover too many punts at Michigan, but you got to let this ball go. He touches it there at the 11-yard line. That's where the Raiders get the football. If he lets that bounce, they could get it inside the 5. That's a mistake.
1st and 10, Pryor all day to throw. Finds McFadden. Cross the 15, knocked down at the 16-yard line by Geno Hayes. But this Raiders offense moving the football early on and struggled since.
He's trying to get the ball to Streeter on this play, but blanketed pretty darn well by Alan Ball. The key thing about what you just said, though, Steve Tasker, getting that ball inside the 5-yard, and that really limits the Raiders' playbook. You get it outside the 10, they can run their regular offense. Big difference.
Streeter in motion, 2nd and 5. McFadden just running over guys. Lesney on the tackle.
That was a big hit, but you're right. I mean, he tried to get the ball to Streeter, but instead just checks it down to McFadden. Now they've got a 2nd and 5, and McFadden plows into Lesney for a kind of a stalemate, but it's 3rd and 4, and you've got a little breathing room. Much better than an incomplete pass, trying to force it in where you could have a tipped interception or an interception outright for 6. These kind of plays, while they're nondescript, make Terrelle Pryor. I mean, there's a lot of hope and a lot of promise in the way he's played.
Look for the read option right here, maybe from Terrelle Pryor.
McFadden comes off Jennings in 3rd and 4. They get to Pryor. Mincy on the sack.
That was a 4-man rush, and you've got to be able to pick it up. This is Mincy off the top, coming in from the left side. He's way outside the left tackle, but he gives a big up and under after the tight end. And it ends up, excuse me, that's Jeremy, Mincy. He's playing tackle, and as they snap the football, he comes right inside Lucas Nix, and I mean, that's a whiff. A 4-man rush, getting there that quick, that's unacceptable for the Raiders.
And it's one of the worst pass rushing teams. They did the worst last year. Only 1 sack last week.
Last season, 5 fewer sacks than any other defense in the NFL. Penalty marker thrown. As Blackman signals for the fair catch. 48-yard punt as it stands now. We await the penalty.
During the kick, holding number 53, receiving team. That'll be a 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. It'll be 1st down. Timeout.
And it's Kyle Knox, the man penalized. So Henne looking for points. Jacksonville down 10.
Oh no, here we go again. Oh dear. I need a little help here. I'm sorry, I don't have a USB port. Oh snap. You have a real keyboard too? This isn't going to end well for me, is it? Nope, definitely not ending well. Do you still think I'm pretty?
I hate watching with Ramsey. All he does is yell. They can't hear you, Ramsey. But every time he's come over this year, we've won. And he always brings Bud Light. Little dog won't come out from under the couch. But we're winning. I love you, Ramsey.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
At Domino's, we take our jobs seriously because we know Americans order pizza when they're building, creating, and innovating. Without pizza, school projects and music albums might go unfinished, startups unstarted. This thing definitely wouldn't be working. No one's coming up with a world-changing idea over halibut. No way. It's always been pizza. So no matter what you're working on, get Domino's $5.99 deal. We can't wait to see what you do next.
I got it.
I just know it was our destiny.
CBS Monday, the end is near.
Just like Revelation said it would.
The phenomenal season finale.
This could be our best shot of getting out of here.
The summer's #1 show.
It's the end, isn't it, for all of us?
Under the Dome season finale, CBS Monday.
Well, 10 castaways return, but the game they're about to play is far different than what they expected. Don't miss their surprise when Survivor premieres Wednesday, 8/7 Central, only CBS. Spiro Ditas, Steve Tasker, Steve Burline from Oakland, 13-3, Raiders in front. 1st and 10, they try to go end around, but it's going backwards. Lamar Houston not fooled as Burton pushed back. Jed Fish, offensive coordinator for the Jaguars, trying to roll the dice, and it backfires.
Well, right there, Lamar Houston not at all biting on that hard play fake to the right side. You see right here, he just comes straight up the field, very disciplined in his responsibilities, and makes the play for a 9-yard loss.
Still no sign of Maurice Jones-Drew, sprained left ankle in the first half. His return questionable at this point. Any play action finding Togman out of the backfield. 2 markers fly out of the backfield. This one could be coming back. Jacksonville just cannot buy a break.
Illegal hands to the face, number 75, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's Eugene Monroe, the 5-year veteran tackle, as Gus Bradley looks on.
Well, on this left tackle, you watch this as this play takes place. He's going to get his hands up into the face of Houston right at the end right there. As you see Houston's head go back, it's right in front of the umpire and the referee, and that's just the guy they watch. 2 flags come in simultaneously and it negates the play. You can say they can't get a break, but they're making their own problems.
They just can't get it right at this point. And you're looking now, and they're confused coming out of the huddle. Chad Henne's got to take a timeout.
Now you talk about inexperience. That's where it shows itself late in the game when you're trying to get it together.
Coach, I can't make it to practice tomorrow.
Why not?
It's my lenticular dorsal rod halitosis.
You wouldn't be trying to get out of practice because you have a package coming, huh? You know, someone as smart as you would just use FedEx Delivery Manager. Request a better delivery time.
My lenticular dorsal rod halitosis is fixed. See you out there.
FedEx Delivery Manager. Sign up at fedex.com/delivery.
I've been around long enough to recognize the people who are out there owning it. The ones getting involved and staying engaged. They're not afraid to question the path they're on. Because the one question they never want to ask is, how did I end up here? I started Schwab for those people. People who want to take ownership of their investments like they do in every other aspect of their lives.
Klein underwear.
This week, don't miss the show that's in a league by itself with guys who take on all 32 teams and each other every week. James Brown, Phil Simms, Chris Collinsworth with the artistry of NFL films and the chemistry the guys catch inside the NFL. Wednesday at 9, only on Showtime. Jacksonville just 113 yards of total offense. They need 29 for the first down. Henne's pass deflected at the line of scrimmage. Jason Hunter on the deflection.
Jed Fish just trying to get a completion here. I was thinking screen or draw for that situation, but the big paw goes up. Gets deflected. Luke Jokel, the rookie first-round draft choice, second pick in the draft. That was Jason Hunter that got his hand up and batted that ball down, but they can't even get the simple completion when the receiver running back is wide open.
Now the officials have a problem with the game clock and try and get that set.
Thank you.
Get it reset to 25 seconds. 3rd and 29, 53,000 making noise here in Oakland. 3rd and 29. This is Forsett across the 20 and brought down at the 21, well short of that first down mark of 7 yards. Tracy Porter on the tackle. The Jacksonville guys, for a little bit of a stretch in the first half, looked okay offensively, but suddenly the protection has gone south, and Gus Bradley looking for answers.
Gus Bradley's got his work cut out for him. I think that's safe to say. We all knew that coming in. He's not laughing. We can laugh about it up here, but it's a franchise that needs a lot of work.
Angers punt sails out, and excellent field position for the Raiders. Jacksonville, as I mentioned, 2-14 a year ago. Franchise worst finish. Once again, changing the hierarchy. They bring in David Caldwell, 39-year-old GM, new head coach, but same old so far. In meantime, Oakland spearheaded by that man, Terrelle Pryor, out in front by 10.
Well, you see the good things he's done today, and he's looked like a rookie quarterback a lot of times for the most part today, but you see what he can show if he gets the opportunity. If he's got green grass, he can hurt you in a hurry, but he also has the ability to stand strong in the pocket and make the throws.
1st and 10. Here is McFadden to the outside. He's inside Jacksonville territory. Still gone. Darren McFadden is putting it on the Jaguars. 32 yards and a Raiders first down.
Watch Marcel Reece get out in front of McFadden and gets in to the secondary, gets a hat on the first guy. McFadden outruns Puzlusny from the inside. Cyprian can't get there, and he ends up having the angle taken on him by the safety Dwight Lowry. I mean, that was a well-run play, and in the big plays, the Oakland Raiders have just executed perfectly.
Well, McFadden said he wanted more touches. Only 11 rushes today, but he is over the century mark with that last run.
But he just lost 2 right there, so I think he's just back to 90.
Good point. Roy Miller on the tackle behind the line of scrimmage with under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd.
He was at 101 before that carry, and then he just went right back to 99.
Something tells me he'll get there. 2nd and 12. You see the rushing numbers so far. It is all Raiders statistically. Pryor with a shuffle pass out to Ford, who is just mauled. Allen Ball getting there right at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, you want to play professional football. Look what happens to you. The ball draws conflict, and I mean, he gets lifted up and planted. That's out of bounds, but because the motion started inbounds, they kind of let it go. Jacoby Ford is not the biggest guy on the field. He's 5'9", $190, and I'm telling you what, you get tossed around out there.
And I think Alan Ball took out a little bit of frustration, too. It's frustrating being on that side of the ball and not having any support from your offense.
Ball was a question mark with a groin injury. Here's Pryor, third down, off the hands of Denarius Moore, a marker thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, Moore was wide open, didn't have a player within 15 yards.
Illegal hands to the face, number 58, defense. That's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Jason Babin penalized for Jacksonville.
He's working against Tony Pashos right there. Right there. And you see Babin get his hand up into the throat of Pashos, and you can't do that. And for the Raiders, in a perfect world, Moore catches that and they decline the penalty because that was a nice crossing route. And I'll tell you what, one thing that's helping Pryor is the fact that aside from 1 or 2 plays, this offensive line is dominated in pass protection.
First and 10, McFadden can't get to the line of scrimmage. So that's the second time that Jacksonville's defense would have been off the field, but a penalty extending an Oakland drive. Derek Marks, the first-year Jaguars player coming over from Tennessee last offseason on the tackle.
And this has been one of the things that the Jacksonville Jaguars were really hoping happened. They wanted their front four in particular to be able to pressure the opponent quarterbacks. And to this point, early in week 2 or late in week 2, they haven't been able to do it consistently.
Well, as bad as Jacksonville's looked, still down only 10 at the end of 3. We'll return to Oakland after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Where can you hear about Syria from President Obama, President Assad, and one of the CIA's top intelligence officers? Only on 60 Minutes, tonight.
CSI season premiere, Wednesday, September 25th, only CBS.
Summer camp, the late 90s. Colin Kaepernick and Russell Wilson spark a fierce Madden rivalry. They vow to become the greatest mobile quarterbacks in the NFL so they can beat each other with each other in Madden. All their years of hard work have led up to this moment. Man versus man. Video game man versus video game man. A season 25 years in the making. Madden NFL 25. Rated E for everyone.
EA Sports. It's in the game. Official game console of the NFL.
Some things are designed to draw crowds. Others are designed to leave them behind. The all-new 2014 Lexus IS. It's your move.
We make the first night in football every week on NFL Network, which means we make the first. Oh, yeah. The first. And the first. We make Andy Reid's first trip back as the Chiefs head to Philly. Let's go. Will Michael Vick and the high-flying Eagles ruin his homecoming? Chiefs, Eagles, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on NFL Network. Together, we make football.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
Start of the fourth quarter in Oakland. We see our scoring so far, 13-3, Raiders in front. Home opener for Dennis Allen's Silver and Black. Spiro Ditas, Steve Berline, Steve Tasker, our entire CBS crew with you. This is 2nd and 12, second time Pryor has bobbled the snap. Finds the rookie Butler, late marker at the end of the play. As Poslusny there defensively.
From Terrelle Pryor, penalty flag on play.
He fumbled one earlier on an errant snap, but that one hit him right on the hands.
Illegal block in the back, number 17, offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Denarius Moore had the drop earlier.
When Pryor drops the snap, everything's kind of messed up. He tries to still flip it out to the wide receiver on time, but Babin is right in his lap. He flutters the ball, and by the time Moore can sort out who he's supposed to block, the guy's up the field, and he has to hit him in the back to keep him from getting a clean shot on his teammate Butler.
Guys, one injury update for the Raiders. Starting guard Lucas Nix, an ankle injury
at the 20-yard line.
Lucas Nix, an ankle, questionable to return. We'll stay on top of that for you.
He hurt it on that screen pass earlier where he missed that block, and he'd been hobbling ever since. So that forces the Raiders to have to shift around their offensive line.
Of course, Jared Valdir, arguably their best player, going down with the injury, the torn triceps muscle. He's out till at least week 9. Menelik Watson, the rookie, out a second straight week. 3rd and 11 after they pick up the penalty. Pryor completes. That's his tight end to the 10, Michael Rivera. Made his NFL debut last Sunday, 2 catches. The rookie out of Tennessee with a big play close to the first down marker.
And now Dennis Allen has a decision to make. You're going to see he gets right about that 11-yard line. They got that's a good full 2 yards to go. I think Dennis Allen's making the right choice here. Put the team up.
Especially considering, 13 points, especially considering how much Jacksonville has struggled to score. Here's Janikowski, 2 of 3, missed from 35. This one is perfect. 29 yards out. And a 13-point Raiders lead. Early stages, 4th quarter. Can Jacksonville generate any kind of offense?
Something big is coming. Big and powerful. Big and beautiful. Introducing the Fiat 500L. Big enough for 4 passengers. Or even 5. The 4-door Fiat 500L.
Right now, well-qualified lessees can lease the 2014 Fiat 500L Pop for $239 a month.
Energizer Max batteries are designed to hold power for up to 10 years. With the help of Power Seal technology, you'll always have power when you need it most. That's positive energy.
For 185 years, Irwin has been making professional tools for professional tradesmen. Today, Irwin Tools salutes those who build this nation with their bare hands. Join Irwin in celebrating National Tradesman Day to say thanks for a job well done.
Running a bike shop has its ups and downs. Seasonal doesn't begin to describe it. My cash flow can literally change with the weather. Anything that gives me some breathing room makes a big difference.
The Plum Card from American Express gives your business flexibility. Get a 1.5% discount for paying early, or up to 60 days to pay without interest, or both, each month.
I'm Nelson Gutierrez, and I'm a member of the Smarter Money.
This is what membership is. This is what membership does.
Touchdown to Marius!
We make the only game with instant video highlights.
Let me get a wing.
Only winners get wings.
Sign up for free at NFL.com/fantasy. Together, we make football.
You are watching the NFL on CBS.
See the Oakland scoring drive, 7 plays, 37 yards. They stall outside the 10. Sebastian Janikowski bangs in another field goal, 29 yards out, 16-3, Oakland in front. Raiders trying to get to 1-1 after just falling short at Indy last Sunday, and Janikowski booming one through the end zone as Chad Henne and company back onto the field. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS rocks. Another doubleheader slate of games. First matchup, and the Texans take on Joe Flacco and the Super Bowl champs. Then Andrew Luck against Colin Kaepernick. What a matchup coming your way next Sunday. That'll be the second portion of our CBS doubleheader. It starts with the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. And while we have a moment, we want to extend our thoughts and prayers to the NFL Today's Jason La Canfora and his wife Lauren. On a 1st and 10 play, they keep it up the middle to Jordan Todman. Lauren, the victim of a hit-and-run accident near their home this weekend. Everyone at CBS wishing her a very speedy recovery in a very scary situation. So 2nd and 6 again. Maurice Jones-Drew, if you've just joined us, sprained left ankle, same foot in which he sustained that Liz Frank injury last October. No sign of him, guys, and at this point you have to assume he may be done for the day.
Well, you're looking at a team that is struggling mightily right now offensively. That
and decimated by injuries.
Decimated by injuries. They're missing Justin Blackman, who's suspended for another 2 games after this one. Mercedes Lewis out. They don't have many weapons on offense, and you take your most established player out of the game in Maurice Jones-Drew, the deck is stacked against them for sure. But you still got to find a way to make it happen. Somebody's got to step up.
This will be 3rd and 6. It is loud here. You see them trying to struggle to get the play call in. Henne throwing near side. It's caught. And now they say incomplete. Ace Sanders, the target. Mike Jenkins, who left the game earlier on a tight coverage.
Well, this ball is actually thrown in a great spot by Chad Henne. You see the tight coverage by Mike Jenkins. Ace Sanders, you know what? This is the big time. You're in the NFL. You got to pull that in. Would have been a great catch, but
have to maintain the catch through the ground.
Yeah, you almost have to get up and hand the football to the official before they say it's a catch, but couldn't get it done on that one.
Anger to punt. Adams from his own 35 had a 30-yard return in the first half. That time going nowhere. And brought down by the backup cornerback Demetrius McCray after a 41-yard punt. Let's send you to New York and an update with James Brown.
Brandon Jacobs a week ago was on the street. And now, JB, he's in the end zone. A 1-yard TD plunge brings the Giants to within 1, 17-16. Broncos on top of the Giants. Late in the 3rd, back to Spiro, Steve, and Steve.
All right, guys, thanks. All eyes on MetLife Stadium, of course. Eli's got him in the Super Bowl category, but 0-2 against Peyton head-to-head. 1st and 10, Terrelle Pryor back under center, just out past the 35-yard line. McFadden across the 40 and brought down Steve. Berline, you had a chance to talk to Reggie McKenzie, your old teammate here with the Raiders. It's year 2 of the Reggie McKenzie rebuild. They turned over more than half the roster, and they've really changed their philosophy in terms of the player that they want to go out and bring in. It used to be they wanted the fastest, the strongest guy. Now it's just as much about character as it is about talent as they try to rebuild this franchise.
I talked with Reggie before the game for quite a while, and you hit it right on the head, Spiro. He talked about he wants not only guys with experience that can play at a high level, he wants the right kind of guys to build this locker room around.
McFadden lunges towards the 40.
And the thing that I think Reggie is doing differently is you see this replay of McFadden trying to find a place to run. He jukes out Paul Posluszny. But McKenzie's doing the thing we spoke about in the first half. He's got a lot of veterans, and he's given them a carrot to dangle in front of them, make sure they're given a full effort. 1-year contracts for a lot of these guys, 9 new starters on the defense. They're playing like they're hungry, and they have in both weeks, 1 and 2.
Terrelle Pryor having a hard time getting this play called. They're going to have to take a timeout unless they hurry up and get the quick snap off. But so much to talk about with Reggie McKenzie and this Raider organization.
There's the second time they have to burn a timeout. This one coming at the 11-minute mark, early 4th, all Oakland, 13-point lead.
Let's do some serious curb appeal. Let's size up this, spruce up that, and let's not do any of this. Let's go to school. Let's go to save. And then, let's go to town. So then we can go do absolutely nothing. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Earth Grow Mulch, 4 bags, just $10.
Degree Antiperspirant does more for you, so you can do more. Degree has motion sense activated by your movement. The more you move, the more it protects. Do more. Degree, it won't let you down.
Go to degreefootball.com for your chance to win the ultimate football fan trip to New York.
It's been said you have to cross an ocean to find a vehicle with safety, reliability, and quality. The bar may have been set over there, but when it comes to raising it, we'll take it from here. The awarded Chrysler lineup. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on Chrysler vehicles.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Don John, the new comedy starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Scarlett Johansson in theaters September 27th. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
This Oakland Raiders team, home opener today, 0-1, looking for their first victory. 11 minutes away with a 13-point lead over Jacksonville. 3rd and 9 from the 39. All day to throw for Pryor. Finds his man. They've got the first down right at the 50. That's the backup tight end, the rookie Michael Rivera for 10 and a first down.
Well, this play right here, Terrelle Pryor ends up getting to the right guy, but it was late. He got it anyway and made the first down. You're going to see how long Michael Rivera is open, and this is the evolution. You're going to see right over the middle, Michael Rivera sitting down here. He's waiting for that ball. It comes on time, finally gets there, but it's a little bit late. He's got to be a little bit quicker getting through his progression because that ball should have been on Rivera right as he turned to look at the quarterback.
First and 10 from the 50. McFadden over the century mark, looking for more. Brought down by Posluszny and Allen, the linebackers. Back to New York. Get an update with James Brown.
Shannon, is it no Sean or yes Sean? JB, this is how you set an edge. Watch the tight end Virgil Green. The combo block up. Get the linebacker. No Sean Marino. No. Into the end zone. His second 20-plus yard run. 24-16 Broncos on top at MetLife.
It needs to be changed to yes Sean now. Spiro need his back.
Denver the extra time to prepare after that opening night Thursday victory. And an 8-point lead over the New York Giants. 2nd and 7. McFadden over center. Make that Rashad Jennings, I beg your pardon, inside the 45 and brought down to make it 3rd down coming up.
And you can see is that the trend in the NFL is no huddle, hurry up. Jacksonville uses it, but here in the second half as the 4th quarter winds away with a 13-point lead, Oakland taking all the time they can. And I'll tell you what, there's one thing that Oakland seems to have. That's a 4-minute offense. They can grind it. They've got Darren McFadden and also Pryor who can carry the football, and they're tough to stop in the run game.
And throw Marcel Reece in there as well for when you need those tough yards.
Pryor's completed his last 6 passes. This is 3rd and 4. Jennings, the old Jaguar, turning out yardage. 29 yards for Jennings before Lowry got to him.
Watch as it comes around. Perfectly blocked once again. Posluszny gets picked up by Khalif Barnes coming right around. Mike Brazel coming across. What a job by the offensive line of the Raiders. They have really taken to this downhill running scheme, and they have made Jacksonville look like they have no answers.
Jennings replacing Mike Goodson as McFadden's primary backup. McFadden back onto the field inside the 15-yard line and brought down. So Jennings doing it to his old team, the former 7th-round pick of the Jaguars back in 2009, giving them some insurance behind a guy like McFadden, who is healthy for the time being. And look at the rushing yards as they approach 200 on the ground.
I was just going to mention that last week the Raiders rushed for 171. That was 2nd best in the league. 195 today. They're sending out a statement that they can run the football and run it well.
This time they throw out McFadden in the slot, top of your screen. Marcel Reece, the fullback, getting in on the party.
Yeah, it's no fluke. I mean, their running game, as productive as it has been early in the season, I get that there's only 2 games, but it is no fluke. They have really blocked well up front today, and it's hard to imagine a team that would have been much more effective because of the execution that the Raiders are getting done. They are really spot on in all their assignments up front in front of McFadden and in front of Pryor.
9th play of the drive. This is 3rd and 4. Pryor giving to McFadden. That time the defense not fooled. Geno Hayes, who is filling the big shoes of Darryl Smith, who has moved on to Baltimore. Longtime heart and soul of the Jacksonville defense. Janikowski looking for his 4th field goal.
You can't fault Dennis Allen for getting a little bit conservative, playing a little close to the vest as he gains more confidence in Terrelle Pryor. You know, his offensive coordinator, Greg Olson, once they learn a little bit more that they can count on him in these situations, they'll be a little bit more aggressive and try and put ball games away.
And I think, too, the offense, they know they've got to earn that right. I mean, they have not done that much to be able to try and go for it on 4th down.
Janikowski from 28 yards out. Now 4 of 5 on the day, and Oakland builds on its lead with 6 minutes left.
It's been said you have to cross an ocean to find a vehicle with safety, reliability, and quality. The bar may have been set over there, but when it comes to raising it, we'll take it from here. The awarded Chrysler lineup. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on Chrysler vehicles.
Over 60 years ago, we set out to bring the joy of travel to a few families. We ended up bringing the world together by changing the way that people see what a hotel can be. And we continue to change to keep you comfortable, connected, and coming back. Because each day brings new ways to show you everything we can be. Holiday Inn, change your view.
Never be far from the game. Download NFL Mobile and watch live NFL games exclusively from Verizon every Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night. Never be without football. That's powerful. Verizon.
Talk to me, Siva. Where are you?
Somebody's trying to wipe out my team.
Don't worry, Tony. We will be okay.
$19-3 our score, 6 minutes to play in this 4th quarter. No sign of Maurice Jones-Drew. If you've just joined us, sprained left ankle, same foot that caused him to miss much of last season, that Les Frank injury. And the sad irony, the cruel irony, it's the same stadium in which it has happened. I certainly hope that this injury will not be nearly as serious. With Jacksonville desperately looking for offense. Looks like Stephen Burton is okay. Well, not everyone can be a quarterback, so get inside the minds of those who can. Phil Simms, Rich Gannon, and our Steve Berline joining Adam Schein. NFL Monday QB tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern. Only CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. There's Blaine Gabbert, 15 stitches on that right throwing hand. Henne faking the hit give. Finds Shorts, minimal yardage, and forced out by DJ Hayden. Here was the injury to Jones-Drew, and this is a play I think we'll be seeing on the highlight reels tonight. That's a big play, guys. It basically saves a touchdown run by Jones-Drew, and we haven't seen him since.
No, he hobbled off the field after that play. This is a Jacksonville offense, 8 possessions today, only 8 total first downs, 7 punts, and a field goal.
And that one nearly picked. Mike Jenkins had open real estate in front of him as he steps in front of Stephen Burton and nearly had a pick six.
Yeah, the Raiders sent the corner off the slot, and it forced the Jacksonville Jaguars to throw hot to the outside, and the Raiders expected it. They tried to bait the Jaguars into throwing hot against a blitz read, and they were going to jump the route, and Jenkins just couldn't pull it in.
And the Raiders defensive backs are not respecting the Jaguars receivers up the field. They haven't been challenged up the field like we thought we'd see more of today.
3rd and 6. Henne buried. Oakland coming on a safety blitz with Usama Young.
Well, Dennis Allen said he was going to come a lot of different ways. He wants to make an offense have to account for every player on the field. It looks like on this particular play, Uchiwaneri, the left guard, and his counterparts on that left side were a little bit confused as to who was coming. And no doubt about it, a clear run to the quarterback. Usama Young finishes off the play with a nice sack on Chad Henne.
Pass protection an issue for the Jaguars last Sunday against the Chiefs. Gabbert sacked 6 times, and it's been an issue again today, to say the least. Andrews punt fielded by Adams at the 35 marker, thrown from behind the return. 49-yard punt, 9 yards on the run back. And this will not get any easier for Jacksonville. They'll stay here on the West Coast, guys. They'll be in Oakland until Saturday. They'll fly to Seattle to take on the Seahawks next Sunday.
Holding number 22, receiving team. It's a 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. The first down. Timeout.
Inside of 5 minutes left to play. Gus Bradley and company down big in Oakland.
Do you have a company or an online store? Do you repair cars, run a restaurant, or just looking for a new web address? Be first now and pre-reserve from over 700 new domains. oneandone.com.
We'll never know if somehow, in some way, we can affect the outcome of a game. But when the clock's winding down and everything's on the line, we all believe.
I think I have the window seat.
You better double check that, my friend. Don't think we don't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm Aaron Rodgers.
No, that's not it. You're that State Farm discount double check guy. Discount double check. Thanks to the hundreds you saved us, we could upgrade the grill class.
Grill class?
Your tongs are in your seat back.
Save with the discount double check today. Get to a better state. State Farm.
Making a dodge in 100 easy steps. Step 1, study the competition. Step 2, get angry. They're boring. 3, make a car from scratch, the Dodge way. Steps 4 through 28, recall 100 years of know-how. Start building, try things. Yes, make it different, not that different. Bring muscle, technology muscle, efficiency muscle. Get it racing, get it in a calendar, more calendars. Polish it, punish it, and you're done. Wait, one more. Now you're done.
Meet the Mother on the How I Met Your Mother season premiere Monday, September 23rd.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today. And by Subway. Any regular footlong is a $5 footlong at Subway this September.
Well, second straight week, same story for Jacksonville. Just 121 yards of total offense. Raiders haven't been stellar today, but they have been certainly better than what we've seen from the Jaguars. McFadden on 1st and 10, cutting it back. It has been McFadden's day, out past the 45 to the 50-yard line. And McFadden having a monstrous day, 27 yards, and now a fumble at the end of the play. Hard to see from our vantage point. Well, it's recovered by Lowry, and now we await the official signal.
Excuse me, Spiro. McFadden was down. He's down. Well, maybe the ball did come out, but it looked like he had laid down and then the ball came out. But on the replay, it may be that ball came out before he was down, and that's a good fumble call by the official, who is right at the angle you're looking at. The official is right on that sideline. That ball popped out early.
Jonathan Cyprien forcing it loose.
The ruling on the field was the runner was down by contact. It's first down, Oakland.
Okay, now.
So they'll need conclusive video evidence to overturn it.
And already Gus Bradley has thrown the red flag. He doesn't like the look. He got the word from his coaches up in the booth, who have had a couple of looks already from the replay, and this will go back to review.
And this is the right challenge for sure from Gus Bradley's standpoint for a number of reasons. One, what do you got to lose at this point? But number two, I'm thinking like you, Steve,
was down by contact.
I'm thinking like you, Steve, that he was down, but that replay showed pretty clearly that ball was coming out. The question is, can you show whether his knee or any other part of his body was hit the ground before the ball came loose?
Right, it has to be conclusive that it was out early. And there it's out, and his knee is not down. His elbow, certainly his upper body is not down.
It's a fumble.
And to me, that's a fumble. You're right. I agree
pretty
with you.
clean, yeah.
And guys, I'll say this: Jacksonville is going to go to 0-2. It looks like this kid Jonathan Cyprien. I know he's blown a couple of coverages the first couple of weeks, but this kid is a fierce and physical safety. Their second-round pick out of Florida International.
You're right, Spiro. He has made some serious pops today in this game. He still, going into the game, the Raiders were talking about how he had been a little bit exposed in kind of his coverage responsibilities a few times against Kansas City in week 1. But there's no doubt Gus Bradley, his staff really feel like they've got a gem in Jonathan Cyprien, and he comes up and he'll let you know he's there. He's done it several times today.
Kid out of Miami whose stock just skyrocketed after his performance at the NFL Combine. All-time tackles leader at Florida International, just 23 years of age. It's Darren McFadden and company looking on. McFadden, as he sits right now, 130 yards on 19 takes.
Yeah, he's impressed his teammates too, has Cyprien, through his work in the preseason, the OTAs. We were speaking to some of the veterans. Pusluzny himself said he really admires the kid's wisdom.
After the play, the Oakland player fumbled, and there's a clear recovery by the Jacksonville player. It'll be first down Jacksonville at the 49-yard line. Please put 4:47 on the game clock. 4:47.
We spoke to Paul Pusluzny, the linebacker.
Is not charged with a timeout.
Spoke to Pusluzny. He said Cyprien is just one of those kids who's wise beyond his years, in that he knows he doesn't know everything, but he questions, he studies, and he's trying to get better in film study and in the things he does to prepare to play. And that, for a veteran to see a young player do that, really raises their respect level for the young safety.
So Cyprien forces the first turnover by either team today. But too little, too late for Jacksonville, down 13 points. Henne on 1st and 10, going down again. It's Jason Hunter this time for Oakland. Let's get you back to New York and an update with James Brown.
Broncos, a little stampede. Give themselves some breathing room, JB. You know what today is, JB?
What is it,
A holiday, a lovely day, a lovely day. Trendon Holiday, the smallest man in the NFL, but he's also the fastest man. 38-16, Broncos starting to pull away.
Anytime you can get Boomer Esiason a chuckle, that's pretty good. All right, back to Spiro.
Guys having a good old time in the studio. Denver pull it away. Mutt snap. All they can do is fall on it back at the 40, and that perfectly summarizes the kind of 2-week start it's been to the season for Gus Bradley's Jaguars.
Ace Sanders coming across the field in motion, and that ball is snapped right into his belly. I don't know whether Henne signaled for the snap or Meester just did it on his own, but it was no doubt about the ball was not supposed to be snapped at that point. When it rains, it pours.
3rd and 21. Henne slings it over the middle. What a catch! Ace Sanders, the rookie, going airborne at the Oakland 30 for a pickup of 30.
Well, this is what we said in the open, that Chad Henne's experience and arm strength were going to force the Raiders to cover vertical. That's the first time we've seen it take place. Ace Sanders with a courageous and athletic catch. Wow.
1st and 10, play whistle dead. It was Tracy Porter on that last hit.
False start, number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
8th penalty on Jacksonville.
You can bet that
that's Luke Jokel, the culprit.
You can bet that Oakland, even though they feel they have this game in hand, this defense does not want to give up any points to Jacksonville. They want an offensive shutout of the end zone, and plus take them out of field goal range.
Here comes the pressure again off the top.
That one caught by Jeremy Ebert, the man who they signed just this week. All the injuries at the tight end position. We mentioned no Mercedes Lewis. Ebert, the 7th-round pick of the Patriots a year ago.
Well, there's no doubt what the Raiders are trying to do here defensively. They want to get to Chad Henne no matter how they have to do it. Every play they're coming with pressure. You see everybody up at the line of scrimmage right now. Here they come.
Henne buying time, 2nd and 10, going end zone. It's incomplete. Shorts. The intended receiver, DJ Hayden, was
Prior
with him.
to the snap, false start, number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
Players couldn't hear the whistles.
Please put 3:02 on the game clock, please.
So they'll put 6 seconds back on the game clock.
Well, we're going to see that's 2 plays in a row. Luke Jokel right here on your screen. The rookie just getting a little bit antsy. He knows there's a lot of pressure coming. He doesn't want his quarterback to get hit anymore. He's just a little bit too antsy. They got him.
2nd and 15. They send Ebert in motion. Henne out of the shotgun. Finding Shorts. Forced out of bounds inside the 15-yard line by Hayden. 22 yards and a Jacksonville first down.
Yeah, that's a quarterback who knows who he's throwing to. We spoke earlier about how these two really hit it off at late last season. Henne going back to him. That's a great throw, good catch. And that's 2 guys who have worked together before, and that showed on that play.
And we've been talking all week. That's what we expected to see more of out of Jacksonville today. Waiting too long to go to it.
Shorts the breakout season a year ago, nearly 1,000 yards receiving. Henne end zone, touchdown. And for the first time this season, Jacksonville with a touchdown. It's Clay Harbor, the 4th-year tight end, and a man who was claimed off waivers just days before the opener from Philadelphia.
Well, nice throw and catch right here. Clay Harbor, very athletic tight end. Getting open over the middle, goes up, big body. That was Charles Woodson coming in late, just a step late. And a great throw and catch. You see right there, nice move at the top. Woodson a little hesitant making his break. Went for the ball and missed it as Jacksonville decides to go for 2 right here.
And why not? 2:53 remaining, down 10.
Try and make it a 1-score ball game if they can get the 2-point here.
Raiders coming, Henne end zone, not even close. So it will remain a 2-possession game. That one too high for Burton. Under 3 minutes to play. Gus Bradley just trying to look for anything as this team now will head to Seattle to take on his old team, the Seahawks, next Sunday night.
And you got to think now the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to bring out the onside kick team, and the Raiders will answer with their hands team as wide receivers, defensive backs, tight ends will all be on the kickoff return team up close to the line, up close to the zone. And you can see here they come. Yeah, it's Marcel, Reece, and all those guys.
We just saw Gus Bradley, and we know through working with him for the last 2 weeks what a positive energy guy he is. A play like that, a drive like that, even though this ball game is still a very much an uphill battle for the Jaguars, he's going to use that kind of stuff to try and build. There's no such thing as a moral victory in the NFL, but those are positives that he can build on to show his guys we are capable of playing at a high level.
Well, yeah, and this is a better game than what they played last week, and their mantra has always been just get better, just get better. And if you're better this week than you were last week, expect to be better next week than you were this week.
So that last graphic, the first offensive touchdown for Jacksonville in 10 quarters. Onside kick recovered easily by the Raiders. As the hands team on the field, Rod Streeter falling out.
Very well played by Streeter. Steve, you know how tough that is to make that play, but if there's any indecision, you're not going to make that play. He was aggressive going after that football. Pretty impressive.
You're exactly right. That's what you have to do, and that's how you teach it. Be aggressive on the football. Go get it. Don't stand there and wait for yourself to get a good hop. You're not going to get one. Go get the football. Streeter did a nice job, stepped up, snuffed it like a low hop on a ground ball, and smothered it, and that's exactly what you have to do.
Rashad Jennings on to spell McFadden on 1st and 10. Inside the 45. And brought down at the 44. So a Raiders franchise just 4-12 a year ago, 0-1 after coming up short in Indianapolis last Sunday. Now 2 and change away from getting to 500 before they head to Denver next Monday night.
Who, by the way, is looking pretty strong again this week. That's going to be a tall order for Dennis Allen and the Raider organization to go up into Denver, into Mile High, and win that ball game, but you never know. You never know.
What a wild couple of months it's been. Matt Flynn brought in, expected to be the starter, beaten out by Terrelle Pryor, and maybe, just maybe, a franchise that has been looking for a quarterback for the last decade. They have their guy here in Terrelle Pryor. Marcus come in.
Holding, number 65, offense, 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's Mike Brizell, the guard out of Colorado State, 60-year veteran.
They'll wind the clock after this penalty, and we'll get right to the 2-minute warning as 2:01 left. And the Raiders have no problem letting the 2-minute warning arrive.
Jaguars have 2 timeouts remaining. Chad Henne, from what we have been told, expected to start again next week. Gabbert has to wait for those 15 stitches to come out. As they try to protect that right hand from the infection, they'll have to run.
Clock will start on the snap on a foul inside of 5 minutes.
All right, so Jacksonville decided to decline the penalty, the holding penalty, to bring up 3rd and long. And because of that, the clock will start on the set, and we'll get to the 2-minute warning.
So this will be a 3rd and 9 play.
That's a smart move by Gus Bradley to decline that penalty, bring up a 3rd and 9, because you got to figure the Raiders are going to go conservative. They're not going to try and score a touchdown. They're going to try and dive that ball in there and use up the clock. But then again, with 0-1, the clock's stopping anyway.
It forces the Raiders to get one more play in before that 2-minute warning.
Pryor rolling out. One out of bounds by a number of Jacksonville defenders. Paul Posluszny getting there first. 2-minute warning, 19-9. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Gotta admit one thing. Can't beat the view.
Explorer, this is Houston. Mission abort.
Explorer's been hit. Explorer, do you read?
You gotta be kidding me!
Gravity, rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX 3D.
Google, what is glossophobia?
Glossophobia is the fear of public speaking.
Resolutely faithful.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
$5 foot long. $5 foot long.
Footlong Nation rejoice! Right now at Subway, any regular footlong is a $5 footlong, all September long. Like the turkey breast, meatball marinara, and even the kickin' buffalo chicken. With tons of $5 footlongs, we need an entire month to celebrate.
Subway, eat fresh.
From executive producer Jerry Bruckheimer,
It's a 15-episode thriller.
Dr. Sanders, tomorrow you're going to operate on the president. He will die. Otherwise, we will kill your family.
Why are you doing this?
When this is finished, we'll be in it together.
Hostages, September 23rd.
Marquette King on to punt for the Raiders with 1:55 remaining here in Oakland. Booming kick, this one through the back of the end zone, and Jacksonville will take it at their own 20. We mentioned Steve talking to Reggie McKenzie. You know, they've got that dead money issue. They're paying nearly $50 million, guys, to players who are no longer with the franchise. On the flip side of that, they'll be one of the biggest free agent players next offseason as they try to rebuild this franchise.
Yeah, Reggie told me before, he was a former teammate of mine. We had a nice talk before the game, and he said, you know, we've been limited, very restricted by this year. We've had to adjust accordingly, but next year we get to have some fun in the free agent market and signing the guys long term they want to have around here for years to come.
Heading out of the shotgun, 1st and 10. Just throws it into the turf. A lot of players, Steve Tasker, on just one-year contracts. Charles Woodson telling us, look, a lot of guys have a chip on their shoulder. We know we're playing to get paid and to stay here after this season.
I think one-year contracts are a tool not used far often enough by general managers. I think it's a real motivating factor for a lot of these players because they all want to leave a legacy and have a great career, but they want to, you know, they want to be paid for that. And to have them playing for their very career and their future is a real great asset to an organization.
2nd and 10, bullet pass by Henne. That's Allen Risley, the tight end. Across the 20-yard line, they'll take a timeout here, pick up of 5 yards. As we get to 1:36 remaining here in the 4th.
And on that same note, you know, you say these guys are playing with a chip. If they trust the general manager, and I think Reggie McKenzie's a guy that these players come in, they say they can trust him. He's a former player. He understands what it's like to be in the locker room. He says, I'm going to give you a chance. 1-year contract, you show me what you got. We're going to find a way to keep you here. If not, you're setting yourself up to be signed by somebody else.
Right.
Either way, I'm going to give you your chance. You show me what you're made of, and then we'll both celebrate next year.
Guys respond to that. They really do, and they like guys who give them that opportunity. They remember it, and I think word gets around that Reggie McKenzie is a guy players want to be in the organization.
And remember, this is an organization that has had the opposite reputation for the last many years. Nobody wanted to come here to the Raiders because of the disarray.
3rd and 5, Justin Forsett, backup running back, split out at the top of your picture. Henne sacked again. Safety blitz and a 2nd sack today for Usama Young.
Well, Tracy Porter and Usama Young both come off the corner from the left side right there. Both guys come, and they just do not have enough protectors for Henne to do it. Luke Jokel looks inside. He could have gotten one. He couldn't have gotten both. He missed both. Look as Luke Jokel steps inside. Both Usama Young, they both come untouched.
And that's a rookie playing like a rookie. He's going to be a great tackle. Nobody doubts that. But you know what? There was hesitation. He realized far too late that he had responsibility on the outside. His job on that play is to take the inside of the 2 rushers. The outside guy is free. Chad Henne's got to get rid of that football. But if 2 guys are coming clean at him, he can't get rid of the ball.
Gabbard sacked 6 times last Sunday. Henne 5 times in this game. 4th and 12, they'll go for it. Why not? 1:27, Henne down the field. They've got the first down. It's Ace Sanders. Just his 2nd NFL game, 23 yards. Jacksonville out of timeouts, 1:15 remaining.
That's a heck of a throw by Chad Henne. There was a very poorly run route by the tight end, Allen Risley. He was underneath Ace Sanders, almost ruined the play, but a great throw and catch.
Henne pump fakes, going sideline, it's caught, shorts. And now they say incomplete, did not get that 2nd foot in. And DJ Hayden, who Dennis Allen was gushing about on Friday in our meeting with him on the coverage.
Yeah, watch, his left foot's going to come down out of bounds. He's got to get it down. It comes right on the line. That was an excellent call by the officials. It was a pretty good throw by Henne once again, and you wonder, and it's so easy now at the end of the game, well, why didn't Jacksonville have this offense the whole game? A little bit of it is on the secondary and the defensive scheme that the Raiders are running against it at this point. But still, it shows you why Chad Henne is a guy that the Jacksonville Jaguars have plugged in and expected some things from.
Second and 10. That play whistled dead before the snap. Jaguars are out of timeouts. Hoping for a quick touchdown score here, and then a
offense.
onside
penalty.
kick.
Still second down.
But they're going the wrong way.
And Henne had to walk all the way over to Jed Fish and get the play from him. You had to wonder whether the radios are not working.
I think Chad Henne wanted to explain to Jed Fish what the problem was, because I think Jed Fish was frustrated with the delay of game in that particular situation.
See the penalties 10 against Jacksonville. Keep in mind, if you just joined us, Maurice Jones-Drew out with a left ankle injury. Went down in the second quarter. We have not seen him since. Second and 15. Heading to Shorts, looking to him almost exclusively. He's got no one else really to throw to, no one else with real NFL experience. That time 18 yards.
Well, they're attacking the rookie first-round draft choice, DJ Hayden, right there. Chad Henne, veteran enough to know, hey, if they're going to keep lining up a rookie on my best receiver, where else on the field should I be going with the football?
Again, Jacksonville out of timeouts. Cecil Short split at the top of your picture. First and 10 from the 47. Henne will protect this time. He finds his man Shorts inside the 40, across the 35. Tackled by Porter. Again, Jacksonville out of timeouts. That time 12 yards and another first down. They'll just try to down it here, stop the clock with 34 seconds remaining. Reminder tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and two big interviews. Syria's President Assad and President Obama. That'll be followed by a new episode of Big Brother, plus The Good Wife and The Mentalist. Tonight, only CBS.
Talk, please. Thank you.
Oakland Raiders, they'll put a couple of seconds back on. Raiders trying to get their first win of the season and just the fifth under their second-year head coach Dennis Allen. 19-9. This is second and 10. That one caught by Shorts.
And the Raiders are content at this point to just play too deep, real soft over the top. Let Jacksonville have those short completions over the middle, make the tackle. The clock just keeps on running.
Shorts now 93 yards receiving on 8 catches. This is Sanders. And push backwards, and that will do it. Jacksonville can't stop the clock. This one all but over as Oakland goes to 1-1, and Terrelle Pryor with his first victory as a starting NFL quarterback. 19-9 your final. Tonight on CBS it's 60 Minutes, followed by Blue Bloods, The Good Wife, and The Mentalist. Now for Steve Tasker, Steve Berline, we send you to New York and James Brown.
All right, fellas, and we're going to carry you to the game between the Denver Broncos and the New York Giants. 38-22, Denver's leading, 5:59 left in regulation. Make that 3:59. Let's join Jim Nance and Phil Simms.
Speaking of stepping up, it looked like Woodyard had a foot right around the shoulder pad area as Eli was trying to get out of that jam. Nice job by Weatherford getting that down and secured for Brown to drive it home for the PAT. So we still have 4 minutes to go, so can't rule anything out quite yet. 38-23. It's a 2-score game.
Absolutely. 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning.
Here you see Joe Ellis. The brass here for the Broncos, John Elway.
You know what I think of every time I see Joe Ellis? He put signs up around calling. What was he calling us out there? Because every time we did a Broncos game in Denver, they would lose.
That was a few years ago.
Yeah, I know, a couple years ago. So it was
they had like a whole voodoo thing happening against us. Yes.
Yeah.
He had a bobblehead doll of each of us, if you will. I think it had a few pins in each of them.
Yeah, I think you're right. Then they won that playoff game against the Steelers.
Yeah. And we weren't there, by the way, for the playoff game against Baltimore.
Good point. Well, you really get, it's why in this league you coach to the end. And just what we saw yesterday, it's a little harder in the pros because the talent and the clock can work against you. But you saw Alabama and A&M. You think, well, there's no way Texas A&M can win. Those scores can happen. Big plays are there. So the Giants will see Denver in an onside kick mode, no doubt.
And you've seen it there that Josh Brown in his career 2 out of 14.
They're going to try it right here.
Onside kicks. Oh, was he past the 10 yards?
Yes, he was.
I don't think they're going to say he was. That was Donnell, who we just talked about, the big target out of Grambling. He made a catch on that last Giants drive.
Jim, no, he wasn't. I was looking at the wrong yard marker.
Yeah, I think he was about a half yard too early.
Illegal touching. Kicking team touched the football before it went 10 yards. The ball will be placed at the spot of the illegal touch. First down, Denver.
Just a fraction too soon.
It's got to go past the 45. And it's caught at the 44-yard line is when he touches it.
Doesn't matter that he lands.
Nope, there's where the ball is.
Yards.
He touched it way before, way before, a yard before.
Yeah.
So. Well, it was exciting for a moment.
It's amazing how open that was for him. If he had just timed that a little better.
I need thicker glasses.
No. Run it up the gut, and nothing there for Ball. By the way, back on the doubleheader train next week. Early, most of you are going to see the 2-0 Texans against Baltimore, plus other regional action. And then the late game, going to almost the entire nation. Andrew Luck heads back west to meet up with his old college coach. Colts and the 49ers, and it all gets started at noon Eastern with the NFL Today. 20-5 together. Jim Harbaugh, Andrew Luck at Stanford, including a 12-win season in 2010. First time that ever happened out there in Palo Alto.
Well, Jim Harbaugh's got the magic touch with quarterbacks, no doubt. He was a good one in the NFL. He can coach them, and he has an eye for talent.
By the way, the Giants did call a timeout after stopping Ball for no gain. They have 2 remaining. Go! That's Ball again. It's time for about 3, and the Giants again use up a timeout. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS, the Broncos and the Giants. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms and Tracy Wolfson. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast.
Situations like this, Jim, when the defense is antsy, they want to make a play. As a quarterback, I always love going out there, beg everybody in the offensive side, don't jump, and using some type of snap count to get yourself 5 cheap yards so you can get that 1 first down to really get rid of the clock. It was one of my strengths.
Moreno now becomes the featured back. He's 7 yards away from 100. And has the 2 touchdowns. They fake to him, and they look down the field and get the first with Decker. Picks up 10, and Peyton now goes over 300 for the day.
Yeah, they weren't just going to put up and say, hey, we're going to give it back to the Giants and make this game interesting. So they make the aggressive call on the offensive side. They know they're going to get single coverage out there. Nice fake. Really good throw by Peyton Manning. Well, he's an excellent sideline thrower on those play action passes. He did it many times, of course. with the Indianapolis Colts and has carried it over with the Broncos.
Last week, both brothers were over 400. Today, they're both over 300. And Decker has a career-high 9 catches. And it's ball for 3 more. Peyton in this second half, 12 out of 13. It's interesting. They came out of the locker room. You talked about adjustments. And that first possession of the second half really set the tone for what happened the rest of this way. Right down the field and scoring the touchdown. Now they've got another Bronco down. It's Clady.
Broncos can't wait to get this game over with. I mean, it's just... Nacho, the safety. That's a big deal. Of course, Ryan Clady, one of the best left tackles in the NFL.
Yeah, here in the late going in the fourth quarter.
But you're right, Jim. It's just what they've done. The Broncos, the big changeup. Oh, that's what happens.
Oh,
One of the defenders falls in the back of his left ankle or his foot.
Timeout called by the Giants, their last timeout. They've had Clady go down in this quarter. Nacho. We saw Ayers also shaken up in this quarter. They hope to have Champ Bailey and Joel Dreesen back in uniform next week. They missed the first couple of games. It's a Denver team that figures in many ways only to get better. When you talk about Von Miller being added to the mix and the first ballot Hall of Famer in Champ Bailey, a team that could very likely be right back at this stadium come February the 2nd. What do you think?
Well, I think they're the favorites in the AFC. As you look at their schedule, also it's a new offensive coordinator in Adam Gase. So Peyton Manning says, look, we're still kind of figuring out what we're going to do, him and I. Of course, it's worked well the first 2 games. And getting Wes Welker even more involved in this offense.
Broncos will be playing the Raiders next week and 3 minutes away from making it a perfect day for the AFC West. All wins. Peyton down the field. And the receiver, Decker, hit the ground, but they say no contact from Webster. Oakland with a win today over Jacksonville. Kansas City defeats Dallas. San Diego, the surprising road win at Philadelphia. And now 4th and 8. Denver up 15. Will give the football back to the Giants.
Yeah, that's where you see the injury where Peyton Manning, that throw before he got injured, he would have thrown that back shoulder and ripped it down the field. Now he just has to be a little careful, and it doesn't get there.
I say they're going to give it back. They're going to actually try the field goal attempt from 47 yards from Matt Prater
to make it a 3-score game.
Yeah. Can't get much better than that. Prater. 41-23. Giants gave up 36 to the Cowboys last week, and now 41 today to Denver. 6 turnovers by the Giants week 1. 3 more turnovers today, all picks. You know, we said at the very start of the game, we saw Archie and Olivia, mom and dad, watching the game. They don't relish these matchups. They know they're coming. They see the schedule. And it's like Jack and Jackie Harbaugh watching their sons coach last year in the Super Bowl. They know that one of them's going to walk away on the short end of it. And there's an old saying around here that you hate losing a lot more than you love winning.
Oh.
And when it pertains to one of your kids.
Yes. Well, that's right, to the kids, but it also pertains to the league, Jim. It's so much, that is so true. You just take a deep breath when you win and you go, all right, a little relief, but losing, and of course the Giants, the way they're losing, not able to run the football the way they want to, and the turnovers.
You saw Wilson back there. No fumbles today, but 7 carries, 17 yards. He was supposed to be such a big part of what the Giants would be doing offensively this year. And again, he holds on tight out to the 29.
Now, you know, I'll say this about the Giants offense. They are a aggressive, you know, play to the edge type of team. But as we see, like when you showed around the league, and I looked at some of those numbers from all those quarterbacks, nowadays, the league, the way the rules are, the way the talent is with the receivers and the quarterbacks, and the willingness to spread and throw it, you put up big numbers with no mistakes. That's what these coaches expect.
BJ. 518.
Donnell. He tried to field that onside kick, but did so a little too early. Has a second catch. This one goes for 8. And the Giants are out of timeouts. And right back to him again. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Denver on its way to its 13th straight regular season win. 7 of them coming on the road.
Gotta admit one thing. Can't beat the view.
Explorer, this is Houston. Mission abort.
Explorer's been hit. Explorer, do you read?
You gotta be kidding me!
Gravity, rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX 3D.
Google, what is glossophobia?
Glossophobia is the fear of public speaking.
Resolutely faithful.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
$5 foot long. $5 foot long.
Footlong Nation rejoice! Right now at Subway, any regular footlong is a $5 footlong, all September long. Like the turkey breast, meatball marinara, and even the kickin' buffalo chicken. With tons of $5 footlongs, we need an entire month to celebrate.
Subway, eat fresh. From executive producer Jerry Bruckheimer comes a 15-episode thriller.
Dr. Sanders, tomorrow you're going to operate on the president. He will die. Otherwise, we will kill your family.
Why are you doing this?
When this is finished, we'll be in it together.
Hostages, September 23rd.
We're back with the handoff, and now let's take even away a little bit more yardage from that rushing total for the Giants as Scott loses 4. "23 yards now. That's all the Giants have to account for on the ground. The shovel pass. Scott unable to handle it. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and 2 big interviews. Syria's President Assad and President Obama. Followed by a new episode of Big Brother, plus The Good Wife and The Mentalist tonight, only CBS. The Giants have a real problem here after 2 weeks. They just getting nothing out of the backfield.
Yes. Look, the offensive line a little healthy, back together. They survived this game. That's good.
Eli alertly picks it up. Gets it to Cruz. It'll be 2 yards shy of a first.
You know, they're going to have to go back on tomorrow on that drawing board and decide how they want to manage games and go about this.
4th and 2. And Randall in traffic draws the flag.
Pass interference, defense, number 32, spot on the foul, first down.
Well, let's see down the field. Well, he does make contact. He puts his arm out in front. Tony Carter does. Look, they got to call that. Even late in the game where you say, well, it doesn't mean anything. Well, you can't act that way as an official. A penalty's a penalty. Throw the flag.
13th penalty against Denver.
It's a little problem for them, too. You're going to play aggressive on the outside. There's a fine line.
Eli lost it to the goal line, and the ball was ruled incomplete. I thought he was out of bounds. Scott. Well, he's pushed out of bounds. He's pushed out of bounds, and he never established his own ground back in the field of play.
Well, if he was pushed out of bounds, that's illegal. It's too far down the field.
57 seconds to go. And another interception in the end zone. Tony Carter with no Giant in sight.
Those are the worst. It's the worst. Not only it's the, here we go, one of my favorite terms, miscommunication, because somebody made a mistake there. And I'm not going to blame the wide receiver. When you read routes, which the Giants do, it could be short, long. But to throw an interception this late in the game, it's throwing gasoline on the fire.
That's 4 picks
hurt.
now.
Those hurt.
It ties a career high.
You know why, Jim, too? Because it's the number. You know, even as a quarterback, hey, throw 4 picks, can't win. Doesn't matter how they happen. It's the fact that there's 4 interceptions.
Yeah, it looked like a miscommunication again with Ruben Randall. And this is one player talking about Randall, who I thought might have a big game here today after all the things we heard over at the facility. The second-year player who had a 100-yard performance last week, but there have been some mistakes every time they went in his direction. And here we go. The brothers will meet. Peyton wins Manning Bowl 3 to go 3-0 in the matchup. In the last 2 times they met, we talked to Peyton about it last night. It's always a quick exchange. It's a simple, I love you. Tom Coughlin leaves the field shaking his head as his Giants fall to 0-2. Little bit of everything from the Broncos today, including a return for a touchdown. The final score, Denver 41 and the Giants 23. Coming up next, 60 Minutes, followed by a new episode of Big Brother, The Good Wife, The Mentalist. For Phil Simms and Tracy Wolfson, Jim Nantz saying so long from the Meadowlands. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo woo!
Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico? I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day!
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
CBS Sports presents the Geico Play of the Day.
St. Louis at Atlanta late in the first quarter. Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan connects with Julio Jones over Rams cornerback Janoris Jenkins. He outruns Rodney McLeod on his way to a career-long 81-yard touchdown. Atlanta goes on to beat St. Louis 31-24.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Do you have a company or an online store? Do you repair cars, run a restaurant, or just looking for a new web address? Be first now and pre-reserve from over 700 new domains. oneandone.com.
Energizer Max batteries are designed to hold power for up to 10 years. With the help of Power Seal technology, you'll always have power when you need it most. That's positive energy.
There'll be winners, there'll be losers, and you will see it all. With free TV streaming to your device. Touchdown, traveler. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
CBS Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.
The end is near. Under the Dome, season finale, CBS Monday.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, it's just, I've moved on.
So that's it. We're done.
Yeah, I just want something fresh, something exciting.
I thought we had a good thing going.
I mean, she's got experience.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
You'll be fine.
Why?
Limpy, subs with experience, serving you for almost 50 years.
Do you mind if me and, Yeah, man, no problem. Awesome.
We make the first night in football every week on NFL Network, which means we make the first. Oh, yeah. The first. And the first. We make Andy Reid's first trip back as the Chiefs head to Philly. Let's go! Will Michael Vick and the high-flying Eagles ruin his homecoming? Chiefs, Eagles, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on NFL Network. Together, we make football.
9 years into a TV show, there comes a time when you want to do other things. I really sort of fell in love with racing because it tests you mentally and physically. You're alive. You're feeling that you are absolutely alive.
You can't fake it. You either can do it or you can't.
It's really about the goal of getting to Le Mans, and it's about the journey to get there. I just don't want to be the actor. I want to be the racer who wins.
All new Patrick Dempsey Racing Le Mans, Wednesdays at 10/9 Central on Velocity.
Pretty snazzy phone you got there.
Oh yeah, it's the new GS4.
Had this one about 4 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is vintage.
3-button doesn't work, but other than that, she's a trooper.
Right.
I like to keep it simple.
Well, if you want it simple, this has an easy mode. It puts only the things you use on your home screen. Makes your contacts easy to get to.
I like it. Got a birthday coming up, you know?
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Visit Walmart today and get a $40 gift card when you buy select Samsung Galaxy smartphones.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.